And hello, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, let's do this one. I am Uncommon, and joining me today, as always, is the glorious, the one-man band, the arch rival of Superman. It is Shazam Poof.
It is also your friendly stream reminder of change the stream name.
I did.
Stream name.
Just stream name is fine. You want? You want me to take? Oh, why does it say that? Why does it say that? I changed it. Tom.
I don't think I have any access to the stream, so you can't blame me.
No, I know I can't. I know I can't. Episode 9. I took a moment and I changed it, and I was like, I remember typing out these exact words. Update information. There we go. One man band. There's a link here from Tech4. I'm gonna click it, and it's gonna be a guy with a one man band.
I mean, at least he's not a liar. Tech changed it.
He did. I gotta stop giving you that kind of access.
He logged in with your social security number.
Oh man, ladies and gentlemen, hello. Hi. It's been a fantastic, not stressful all day for me. How was your day, Tom? Let's talk about that.
How was my day? It was kind of cool. I did some new stuff. Yeah. I learned some new programs of work, and I was like, "Geez, this is." And then like I did some stuff, and they were like, "That doesn't work," and I was like, "But it worked," and they're like, "No, but that doesn't work," and I was like, "No, but it worked," and then they looked, and they were like,
"It works.
That works, but it shouldn't," and then we'll see tomorrow if it causes any
just
kerfuffle.
A normal procedure that just went wrong.
So essentially, banking software is made universally. So you, as a organization, will not you will get it. So there'll be certain things that you just won't use because your organization doesn't need it, doesn't do things that way, yada yada yada. And so I essentially took advantage of one of those things because I didn't know exactly how to do it, so I improvised, and it worked. So we'll see if I need to adjust anything tomorrow.
Maybe this just shows that you have a depth and level of understanding at this job that others don't, or they're right and you done fucked up.
Either way, we'll find out tomorrow.
So
it's either I'll get a promotion or fired.
I on the other hand woke up and I got to take a couple hours at home this morning rather than immediately going into work. That's nice. That's the nice part about it. It's a positive spin about my morning. The rest of it was spent freezing my credit and turning on identity protection because my social security number was posted online. And that was fun. That was fun.
Joys of modern
technology. Thank you, Twitter and Facebook, for making these things possible. Basic clerical. I'm not going into too many details. Basic clerical error, but the part that frustrates me the most is they knew about it like 15 hours before I found out. Like they knew it, they removed it and waited to tell me.
Hey, well, you never know.
You never know. Never know. I wonder how many houses and BMWs I now own.
Oh, I hope it's like 1 million. Hold on. So what I am doing right now, and I know we're only 5 minutes in, so how dare I talk about the actual show?
Are you talking about the actual show already?
Yeah.
I don't even have the episode up on stream. This is just my banter logo. I have a button that says banter. Okay. Do I need to switch?
Oh no. Okay. There's a clear all button. Why is there a clear all button?
Well, there's also a Control-Z command for undo.
I don't know
these
for
things.
the map if there is.
Oh, you're doing your map. You're finishing touches on our map. So
maybe.
So what we talked about.
Finishing. I'm just updating it because it's been unupdated for years now.
It has been years. Last year, I think, was when this started.
Actually, look at that funny joke, and I didn't even realize.
All right, so yeah. Really quick. Last episode, we came up with like 9 adventures. 9.
We did.
We did.
The Mighty 9, some would say.
Some wouldn't, though, because that's somebody else's Dungeons and Dragons thing that is really
We're
popular.
the only one. I don't know why
and you put it on me to go to the Dungeons and Dragons group to see which ones they were most interested in. And I did that. I did that yesterday. I went back to the group and we sat down and I explained each one of these in order. And the ones that got the most oohs and ahs, well, let's just say the one that didn't get the ooh and the ah right away was Depths of the Undying, the mega dungeon, because they are currently running through a mega dungeon.
Okay.
They're like, eh. Like, okay, that's fine. The first one that got a big ooh was Weekend at Danny's. And they were really excited, especially when I explained to them, a paladin is hungover, and it's your problem because one of them's on your lawn, right? We talked about reestablishing minimal order, and they just love that idea. Honorable mention was A Farmer's Tale, The Quest to Find John.
Okay.
And another one they really liked was second season, Surviving the Forests of Sandalist Territory, right? Cursed Land, Big Forest Jungles. We talked about the rapid wear zombie wizards.
Yep.
But the one that we got the most votes, I think 3 of them, it was our number one choice, and then everybody kind of agreed it would be kind of cool, was the Sirens Call. And that was the Exploring the Sea for the Siren, the Island's Adventure. The Siren, of course, being the Admiral Paladin for Chromolome. Breakfast at Tiffany's probably a really good title for a module we haven't created yet.
It's their first mission.
I will say, right? Breakfast at Tiffany's. They're eating breakfast instead of meeting at a tavern. They meet at a breakfast.
We can't start this at a tavern.
No,
we can't. We gotta find something.
The tavern's not a bad starting place. It's
everybody. We gotta be different.
How many people actually start at a tavern? It's become a cliche that nobody uses, so it's not a cliche anymore. Oh, we can't start at a tavern. We always start at a tavern. Like, you've never started at a tavern, dude. You've played like 5 Dungeons & Dragons games, and how many of them started at a tavern?
You mean none? Okay, but that's not the point.
Can't start at a tavern because Tom's never done it. He doesn't know how to handle it. But I do like the idea.
I don't know how to handle social interaction with alcohol. Just started a bagel shop.
Started a bagel shop. Now, I will say one of the things, because my current party and the party that will be playing this game is currently, we're dealing with like character cohesion problems. And they firmly believe that the solution is alcohol, which plays really tightly into starting in a tavern.
Okay.
Super deeply.
Wait, like them? Or their characters?
Their characters. Obviously, playing this in a bar would be amazing. Just give us a private room.
No. I meant, like, are they themselves as human beings going to start drinking, or are their characters going to be drunkards?
We should avoid the drinking for the players. And I've found so far they're not the best at role-playing drunk. Maybe we all do that thing where we overemphasize what we think drunks like. So it looked more like when you're young and you're trying to pretend like you're getting drunker faster than you are so you can fit in. No, I never did that. I don't know what I'm talking about. Tech Force said he's played one single mini D&D thing and it started in a tavern. I remember that night very, very well because Tech Force said, "You're doing a good job." And Tech 4's dad. And I held on to that in a deep place in my heart. I rip my shirt off when I'm drunk. Yeah, we found that out too. He rips his shirt off when he's drinking. All these things happen in my Discord. It's down below. If you're not hanging out there already, feel free because we're doing some fun things. We'll probably do some fun things after the stream, Tom. We could talk about Apex Legends. Is actually fun.
Is that a game you're playing?
It's a new thing.
Who was? Wait, somebody was playing that.
Yeah, see, thanks.
Was Danny?
Danny was playing it. Danny got me to play it. I didn't even know it existed until he told me it existed. But Tech 4 remembers I did a fantastic job. Thank you. That does mean a lot. So, talking about Sirens Call. If you had any time to think about, because I have a perfect image of what this looks like, and I've kind of wanted to run a campaign like this for a while. But before I go off and dominate this creative space we have here, what is your thought?
I mean, I would think. I mean, with this one, we dabble a little bit on the other side of the world, but of course not until much later. When it's there's I think the little stuff that we talked about. I don't even know if I'm really adding on much. The different warring, sort of merchant factions. So there would be the subterfuge and all that stuff there. So it's almost. I mean, of course, it's not as open and as full of conflict as the Ektoon versus Loros war, but there's definitely I would say that these merchant are major enough players where it's not little kids slapping each other. Like we got some big guns in here who aren't willing to of course they're not outright going to war, but it's maybe a little mafia stylish,
okay.
With of course some respective boundaries too. It's not complete lawlessness, but
right.
there's some illegal things to be had to sort of try to get the next level up on their opponents, and then the players would sort of find themselves in the middle of this. Who knows? They could either continue to climb up, that sort of chain,
okay.
or sort of quickly weasel their way out of it because it's not for them and could potentially take them on from the outside, or simply come to profiteer off it like others do in the nation.
So, and first off, I'll say welcome. Thanks for coming to hang out. One of our players, Unreal _ showed up. Asmodean, yes, we probably play on Roll20. And I did want to lead off by saying we shouldn't be doing anything spoiler here.
Correct.
But I want to propose an insane idea. And because you're probably immediately going to say no, but it's very important that you at least consider this proposition really, really heavily. I think it would help us all, a great benefit, if you could watch the first 50 to 60 episodes of a very certain pirate anime.
One Piece?
One Piece. And I say that. I really seriously mean that.
Okay.
Because I remember watching One Piece a few years ago and going, this is a D&D campaign.
Ah, son of a bitch. We walked into it. Oh, no. Why did I see this coming?
Why did you walk into it?
For those of you who don't know the extent of mine and Casey's relationship, Casey is one to try new games all the time. He's always looking for something to scratch that itch that isn't scratchable. And one of his biggest things is he wants a good pirate game. Like when it comes, if there's a boat in a game, he wants to take it and he wants to see the world. And this is it.
I mean, it's not a video game. It's no Sea of Thieves. But I do distinctly remember watching that show and going, this is structured. They structured that show like a game of D&D. All the characters have these unique backstories that they explore over time. They come together and they're as a pirate crew, as a D&D party, and they go on adventure after adventure that add up to a bigger adventure. Like it's written like the perfect Dungeons and Dragons gameplay table. And when I think about Sirens Call, I can't help but keep making these comparisons to what that group would look like. Because that's what they're going to have. They're going to have a ship. They're going to have free access to the sea and probably a map of things that they can explore. And an adventure, it's miniature adventures that they're going to have on each of the islands. And will be the greater story of what we have. And I think if you spend any time watching that, maybe you'll get the sense, and maybe it's worthless, and maybe it has nothing to do with it. But it's a structure we could use.
I have seen definitely some of One Piece, and I will say it has been a long time ago, so I'm not sure exactly how helpful it will be. But the one thing that also then sort of jumps out on me, is so right now our map is one continual landmass, and I counted them. There are 4 islands.
Okay.
So I don't. That's really just more of a statement. It's a neutral statement that I don't know if being at sea and only being able to ping, coastlines.
Well, I think we had islands. I think we pop a vast network of islands, big and small, into this. Like, we might only have a couple right now, but why not more?
Because I don't know if I can add them.
No, I mean, I'm not saying we don't have to do it on your map. And has your map been updated somewhere? Because I know you were working on it.
It's on World Map, and it's really the same. The colors are different. The names are correct, and I just put in capitals where I thought they made sense.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Capital cities and things. Yeah, that works.
Yeah, and you can see the capitals in very small writing.
Yeah. These are major landmasses, right? We could, like, these islands that show up could be major landmasses, but we could still litter this place with islands when we want to, and however we want to. We could do this by physically drawing. Hey, look, there's an island. Hey, look, this one's shaped like a fishy. This one's shaped like, I don't know where I'm going with the shape. I'm trying to find it. An octopus. Right?
Oh, are you actually
an octopus island? Yeah. Like, we don't have to be super detailed. Like, we don't have to perfect this map. I think this is the best starting point we're ever going to have for this map. It's great, but not says we can't add to it. This gives you the chance to work with the word archipelago. See, archipelago. I like it.
Yeah. So, fun fact: I learned that word from Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3. Fun little video game fact. Because in that world map there's archipelago, and I had no idea what that was. So for the longest time it was archipelago.
Archipelago.
Yeah.
I mean, we've all had moments. Yeah. Some of us learn later in life than others. Proper spelling and pronunciation.
So the one thing that I've learned from my girlfriend is that if you read a lot, you're just smarter. But the one thing that your dumb boyfriend can hold over your head is that since he doesn't read,
right?
You sometimes know how to pronunciate weird words.
Like she'll know more words than you, but you'll
absolutely,
you'll know how to pronounce 100%. More words.
Yes.
Yeah. No, it's the same thing with like major characters in books.
Exactly right.
You don't even like. I know for the longest time when I get to a name, I don't stop and try to sound it out. I just glance over it. I keep reading, and then after a while, I mean, I recognize the word, I recognize the name, but I never stop to think how it's pronounced, and then I just can't do it. I just can't recall how it's pronounced.
And that's the thing where, like, she read Game of Thrones forever ago, and of course the show comes out, and I think there's even like people who read the books like in a hardcore way have like like there's like disputes on what their names actually are. I'm like, my way is the right way. I know because I did no reading of the book, but I've watched the show.
And you assume that they got it right there.
But my main thought is, I mean, we have a map, we have a general theme.
Map.
Do we generate a new map?
Do we generate a new map? Can we generate a new map and overlay it on top of this map?
Yes, but we lose all editable functionality.
Okay, so how about this instead? Like, these are the continents.
Because one of the really nice things about this, and I don't know if you remember because it's been months since we talked about it, is these maps are intertwined with the city generator. So you click on a map a city on the map, it pops up the same randomly generated city. So you have city maps for the entire country.
You have city maps for all these maps.
Yes.
So when I zoom in and I see right under Fortic is Malbach, and I assume that's the capital.
Yeah. The only thing that shows on there is capitals. Can
you start putting these maps in here? Do we have them already?
Yes, but there would be more things for them to change for them to be accurate. I can at least.
Let's see one. Let's get us a new city kind of posted on here. So we know what we have, because we're going to have to start filling this thing out with content.
Right.
And that's going to be the hard part. So for anybody just joining us now, we are building our Dungeons and Dragons world. We are about to zoom in on the territory of Carlome and kind of work out how an island adventure campaign would work. If you give the players a boat and we give them free access to the seas, what kind of adventures do we line up? No spoilers yet. We're not to that level of detail. And when we ever have spoilers, for those who are planning on playing the campaign and you've already been identified, I will make sure it's a big banner across the screen, so you're not ruining anything for yourself, so you don't know where the magical sword's hidden, because we're going to talk about things like magical swords hiding in places. And why swords? Because I like swords. I like a good magic sword. You're saying have you deleted something massive and now we gotta go back?
No, I just accidentally changed the names of things.
All right, that's fine.
But here, I'm just going to get it back. MAULLBACK or H, whatever. Words.
H.
I know I can do it. I've done it a million times before. Oh my God! It's everybody on the stream is watching.
I mean, there were at least halves of dozens of people judging you right now.
Watch them rotate the label.
We need to get like a host or a raid from Critical Role.
Okay. I did it. I was too far deep.
Okay. You're too deep. So
I was delving in too deep.
You were delving in too deep. We're 9 episodes in. You can't go that deep. We're not even double digits. Come on. On the subject of surprising pronunciations in books. I will get to that link. And Perfect Date is the best pirate game. So while he does this, I'm going to look up this Perfect Date.
Yep, it's coming. It's coming.
I don't know if I see anything that has to do with pirates in this, but it does look like cats dating and people dating cats. That's a video game that people play. I'm looking for pirates. I do think this might just be something Tech 4 stumbled onto and felt he really needed to share. I don't blame him. There is a picture of a cat enjoying a picnic, but it's got a bird that's just been absolutely eaten. I can show this real quick. This is Perfect Date. Go back. Watching. I judged. Yeah, see, I'm getting the messages. You're being judged. All right. This is Perfect Date. Somebody's taking their cat out. It looks like somebody's taking a cat out to a movie theater. Looks like this cat's playing video. I'm just, you know what? Gotta close this. There are too many levels of weird on Steam, and we're not diving deep into that right now. All right, so you pasted something for me.
Yes.
Okay, what do we have?
Okay, so that is Malbach. So, of course, I don't have it here in the picture, but I mean, we can always just edit around those if need be. But these are the maps that are generated.
Okay.
Within those towns. So
wait, where am I looking?
Within the labels. It's right underneath. Right underneath World Map. Yeah.
Okay, so I just don't have it yet. All right, let me go ahead and sync this up. Make sure we are currently syncing ourselves. Sync this notebook now. And so tell me about this as I'm trying to get this to load in.
Yep. So
make sure you sync it on your end too.
Yeah. So this is the map. It's actually done by a different website, but I don't know how they sort of combined the two. If they talked about it, they were chatting. They were like, "This is a fantastic idea," because it pretty much is. It's a a map where you click on that and here's boom the generated map. So it even takes into the account, and hopefully I'm not going to prove that I'm full of garbage. Yeah, if you look, Malbach is at the end of a river. Now
okay, I'm zooming in on Malbach, but I still don't have what you have.
Really?
Oh, you just posted it under the world map. I was waiting for a new tab. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, no. Sorry. Yeah, it's directly under the world
So
map.
it's at the end of a river. So this is actually showing the river running through Malbach.
Right.
Okay,
so,
there we go.
So there is that, that depth to it,
Right.
is my understanding. And so, like, if it's a coastal city, it'll show up as, a coastal city. And so when it comes to water, that's really it. Like, there's no like mountains or anything on these maps, but there's like when you actually have the website instead of just the PNG image,
right.
It will like show you. It has like different things. Like there's the gate right there. Here's a shanty town,
right.
And it just sort of breaks them down into sort of blocks. So like of course you have your farms and everything like that.
It's going to actually tell us where the upper class, middle class parts of this
right
are.
Which we don't necessarily have to use. I mean, we don't have to use every single factor.
Sure.
But then we could generate these maps on a whim and sort of potentially have some labeling system, pop them in, and it will decrease some work for us.
Well, then let's dive in specifically to where we were going to dive in. Let's get ourselves up. Let's take a look at this map. I want to find a port city in Krolom to start this thing off. So
okay. Well, I mean, they have the capital, but you could also, there's only, so you will only see.
I do see the small ones that they exist.
Right.
So I'm going to highlight one. Can we get a map for this one city? It's near the northern portion, north and west coast. That looks like a perfect starting point. A small coastal town. We don't have to worry about huge political.
Galaquy.
Right.
Yep, on it.
Perfect. So let's and we'll make a. We're gonna go to. We have a location, so I'm gonna add a location. How do you spell that?
GELI.
I want to say one second. I was not prepared for that. GELIA. QUI. Okay. So I have a page for it ready to go. I'm going to create some imagery for it here. We're zoomed in on a portion of the world. I'm going to take a photo or a kind of cutout box of this. And then we're going to paste it Gilliquy. We're going to get the city map going. Gilliquy, all right. So we have a Gilliquy. And now this is near the ocean. I see that. We kind of need to rotate it, don't we? Is that rotatable?
With the way the website is, no, but we could rotate it. We could rotate the image, but other than that,
right, the wording would be whatever.
Oh, I guess
If you could get a version without the wording, that would do it.
I could
then I could just rotate it. We can cut it. We can do any number of things, but we have Gilliquy. Let me go ahead and draw a square around it. Oh, nope, that's a bad square. Let's get a good square. Be a good square. And we draw some lines connecting.
Oh, that's just a thing. Okay.
Connecting to it to show that it expands, and this is what we're looking at.
Oh, isn't that fancy?
Yeah, I don't know. It looks kind of whatever to me. Not even done right. It's not even like.
Nope.
It's not even. Well, I mean, those are the proper corners. Don't let me lie to you. Those are.
But you know what?
What's that?
And who knows? Maybe there's like a little bay, and it's instead a little bit.
Hey.
You never know.
I mean, right. I mean, this is a zoomed out, zoomed in. We're fine. We can just imagine the water moves around and encircles it kind of the way it does. And then I will just do this rotation for now. Rotate 90 degrees. There we go. we have ourselves an approximation of Gilliquy. So this is the starting. This would kind of be the starting town for our band of pirate wannabes. They're going to have to solve something in Gilliquy. So let me go ahead and copy all this and pull it over to our actual behind the scenes section here. There we go. Can we make that all? No, we can't. All right. So a sequence of events. Kind of some two ways I like to do this. I like to kind of give myself a general idea of sequence of events, major plot points, and then I like to actually just talk about. And this is a little military of me, but an overview of the situation, which will include big picture, small picture, organizations, what's happening. I'm losing all of my knowledge here on situational paragraphs, but what's the climate like? What's the weather at this time? What is the everyday coming and goings? Does anybody have any important problems that are happening right now? Just a complete overview of this all the things that they can interact with, right? If we start talking about the crops are suffering a drought and the players visit a farm, they'll know that'll be part of the dialogue we can reference. Man, I'm losing all of my area of interest. Area of interest. I like to call it area of interest.
There you go. Okay.
So,
okay.
Starting off in a big pirate adventure, the end goal, what we want to get to, the end state. The end state. I'm going to use end state, and again, a little bit of army coming out. The end state is that the players were okay. So we talk about end state in a couple ways. The effects on this is at the end of the opening adventure. What is the state of a couple things? Players, population or civilians. We'll go population and enemy. And if there was a mission. So each of those we talk about. So players have completed some mission that gives them notoriety. This notoriety will bring them to the Siren's attention, and he will offer them. She will. Thank you. And she will offer them a job, and that's the kickoff of the adventure. This adventure should bring them to level 3. Right? Players should have completed some mission that gives them notoriety, and level 3. The population should have an opinion on them, negative, positive, or negative. So anything.
Is that the city or the country?
No, that's the small area population.
Okay.
Man, yeah, I'm looking at Andrew. Andrew's helping me out here. Most likely course of action, most dangerous course of action, composition, location, activity, and equipment. He's not wrong. He's giving me great breakdowns for enemy forces. All right, so there is a Twitch chat, right? You can type all this in this chat box too. All right, so that's the end state. That's where I want to get them. The beginning is kind of up to player backstories. So when we start this thing and player backstories, players, starting point. This is when I'm going to start having these discussions with who their characters are, why they would end up in this town, what brings them to this direction. Who are they? What are their motivations? And I got to give them a driving point that gets them onto whatever the mission is. And we'll go scrolling right, the mission. So we move from the starting point to the mission to the end state, kind of in that direction. And that gives us just a foundation and a base to work with. Once we get those 3 points at that flow of the story, that's when I move on and I start developing the town and the key points of interest. So what kind of mission? And we say there's a couple. right? Because we always want to give your players options, right? You give them 2 to 3 options, and then a open world that I just have to pull out of my butt as soon as I start going that direction.
Would they start on a ship? Would their first mission be ship based?
No, I don't think it is. I think it's port city based. Because I think when they get this mission, they're given a ship.
Okay.
I think they're given
Go ahead. Do you see my note above end state?
The one that says category is Minion Masters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. I'm listening.
That's on Twitch. The category is Minion Masters.
Oh, still? Man.
Great.
Nope, you're right. I'm... All right. Oh, we're doing it. We're doing it.
Well, that's why we have so many viewers. It's all the Minion Masters people.
I thought Minion Masters was. Oh man, this guy. And it's probably what's probably happening is I'm like the 3rd most popular Minion Masters streamer, and I'm showing up on the Minion Master website, or even maybe I snuck into first all of a sudden, and they're all seeing OneNote on their in game because Minion Master shows people the stream in game.
It has great integration.
It does. It's fantastic integration. We'll play it later.
But yeah. But okay, so at their first quest, there could be, goods go missing from the dock, and it's their task to find them.
Say that again. You said goods.
Yep. So a ship is offloading goods, and some of them are going missing.
Okay. That's a good one, and that could pile into any kind of is it thieves, is it goblins, or is it hungry children who are just trying to feed themselves, and what happens with the moral dilemma?
Cut their heads off.
The children have stolen all of it. One moment. Okay. So, sorry, I had to give dinner instructions.
Instructor of the year.
Instructor of the year. That's a thing.
The worst thing that ever happened to you.
It's pretty cool. All right. So, next thing. Next mission. So we have one mission. So they're in there. The players are in the Bagel Shop, right? They're eating bagels.
Pumpernickel bagels.
Tiffanys Diner. Right. Pumpernickel.
Yeah, pumpernickel bagels.
Pumpernickel bagels. And they're going to stumble upon missions, however they do. And the first one they get is goods have gone missing from the dock, and they go, that sounds boring. Forget that. Then what happens? Is there a bagel robbery?
No, serious. The goods are going missing from the dock, guys. You better get that. No.
They dodge that. They dodge that mission.
Let's see.
I'm not a dock worker. I'm not a detective.
All of a sudden,
I'm here. I'm in. You draw me in.
I'm trying to think. So, all of a sudden, the bagel shop catches fire.
Okay.
And at first, it's oh no, it's an oven fire. But then they look out the window, and the farms are on fire, and they're being raided by something.
Okay, multiple things catching fire. So what you're saying is, and this is the interesting thing, they're we're going to go help the people at the dock, and then the fire never happens, so they stop the fire. But if they turn down the goods, they are killing hundreds of people with their decisions, and they don't even know it. I think, yes and no. Right? Obviously, this isn't what's happening. We're designing general ideas because we have not put up our spoiler alert yet.
Nope.
And it's also the thing that this could also happen. They could also be finding missing goods from the dock, and that these things are linked, right? They're using the chaos to do some kind of chaos in town to commit or to steal a certain precious item. And maybe that's
they've heard it come in from that there's word that this item's coming in from the east,
right? And maybe that's the item that starts the quest. Maybe that's the adventure. And we're building now this overarching story. So we get a starting point. We get a couple of optional missions, because as soon as the players come together and they're starting to relax, we give chaos, we give adventure, and we give them options. And they solve whatever this is, whatever chaos is happening. And then they're level 3. It's taking them through some layers, some underground networks, some caverns, whatever it is. They've kicked down the door and they've stopped the some thieves guild or some deviant merchant attack, and we can kind of move these together now. They get the mission from the Admiral, the Siren's attention, and the Siren says, thank you. Let's see. The next step, we'll just call this the next step. Give it another heading. Next step. This is the Siren, and the Siren says, thanks for the help. And as it turns out, I could use your services. Now, what kind of adventure gives players a ship and makes them explore islands? Because I think we're going from island to island in order or out of order at any pace.
They're looking for something in particular.
Okay. And
they don't know where it is.
They don't know where it is. Okay, so looking for something in particular. Now, this could be the something, like maybe they faked that something being delivered to see who else was looking for, and maybe we uncovered some of that. So we're already embroiled in this mess. And thank you, Andrew, for signing up for Twitch just to hang out and watch this. You're the man.
I don't know what Twitch is, but
I'm surprised you don't. This is, it's. Come on, it's the next generation. You're getting too old.
Wait, Casey, am I gonna find out that you are out of your D&D group? You are the youngest person.
No, I'm definitely the oldest.
Okay.
And Andrew he's a coworker of mine from the past. I've known him for some time now. I think going on 9 years.
I read a paper Wall Street Journal.
See, he does that unironically. He's had a Wall Street Journal subscription for as long as I've known him.
That's actually funny enough. That's probably like the thing I miss most about my old job is they had the paper sent to the office, so I'd read it during my lunch.
Okay.
I do miss it.
I mean, that's fair. I miss out on something by not reading a paper. I get it. You people, I'll just read Reddit and I'll have that plague all of my ideologies.
There one day.
Oh man, I stayed off Facebook until today, apparently. Yes. So off topic. Moving back on. So we have a city. We have a quest looking for something in particular, and they don't know where it is. The players
trying to think if there's anything else.
Broiled themselves in the conflict because the goods that were stolen were part of the scheme. This is going to have to do, it always has to do with the other side of the world. Or maybe it doesn't, and then it becomes that. Now, what kind of...
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was saying that just like potentially, maybe it's not something, but it's someone as well.
True. It could be someone. Look for something or someone. Now, real quick, I just need to address that only 11592 just called an Apple phone a Macintosh phone. No? That's clever. I like that. I like that clever attempt to sound out of touch with reality. That was smart. Smart person. That's a smart joke. That's smart humor.
And it's funny that 1592 is when he was born.
It was. He's actually an immortal. He's a Highlander. And there could only be one.
Yeah, his shield barrier goes up when you hit him for damage.
And every immortal he kills feeds into his power. So, All right. So what? I mean, how else do we want to? Because obviously, we now have a direction, and we're going to spend a couple episodes, delving into this chain of islands, kind of how this layout of this adventure works, the people, the places, and you say that there is a spreadsheet that outlines the districts of this place.
You hover over the image,
right,
and it shows you, but only on the website, which I believe I can save things.
Can you send me a link that I can look at the things you're seeing?
I believe so. Let's test this out.
Yeah,
but
sure.
Also, I mean, what we could potentially do, and what I was maybe thinking of doing, is what the fudge?
What's going on?
I don't know if this is what I thought it was.
Yeah, sure.
But we could just have like of the cities that are important. Right. We could have them saved, have them like mapped out.
And then
like
the ones that aren't important.
This building is L3, go to L3. L3 is Tiffanys Diner. These people are here, yada, yada, yada.
Sure. That makes sense.
Yeah, but let me give you this thing and let me see if it works the way I potentially think it does, or it's not gonna at all. And
you're about to send me a link that I can.
Yes, this is coming through on Discord.
Absolutely. I see now you were spamming category minion masters.
Yeah.
That's a file type that I will not be able to open.
Try to open it in your internet browser.
Okay.
Because that's what I thought too.
Okay. Let me download this .svg file and open with Internet Explorer.
Hey guys, this is where I take control of Casey's computing.
You might. Okay, I have a file. It might be a flash file, and I'm looking around, and I have this image. Okay, I clicked, and it was like
tiny.
Well, it is tiny, and I zoom in. That's easy, but moving the mouse around, clicking fast isn't doing anything.
Okay, shoot. Okay, so it doesn't work the way that I thought it did. But
you have access to this.
Yes, and I still might be able to give you access to the same exact map every time, because I can give you access to the overworld save file. Okay. Then you could click into it and then get it that way. Okay. But that would probably be a little bit more cumbersome. We could definitely try it if you.
We don't have to spend too much time poking that stuff out.
Yep.
Discord spamming file minion masters. Hey, if you're not in on the minion masters or the Discord lingo, if you're not in Discord, we got to get you in Discord, buddy.
There's no way. I would put 5.
5 what?
Gold dragons. That he is not on Discord.
That he's not on Discord. I mean, it's fair. He's a well-adjusted adult. He's my most well-adjusted adult friend. I have one, and that's him. Absolutely.
Everybody gets one.
No, ignore you. Never. That's the whole point of this. But focusing, you can always help and add ideas. A lot of these names and all these thoughts do come from our viewers. For example, Bagels at Tiffanys Diner will be a place. It was a joke somebody made. It's going to be a place. It might not be called Tiffanys Diner. It might be Tiffanys Pumpernickel Bagel Shop. But it will be a thing. Right. So what do we actually need to develop now? Because I'm running out of, I'm running out of thought process flow here. Where we go next?
So then, I mean, if we're talking, I guess, the makeup on the fly is if they turn down the Sirens Call. Whereas, then they're looking for someone in particular or something.
Sure.
I don't know if we should have at least one backup plan to that.
Oh, that's easy. Yeah, we have the other modules at hand. We have this organization that they've become. When we say embroiled in, we're saying that this organization wants the thing that the Siren wants, and now the players have made an enemy. Now, wherever they go, they're going to deal with this enemy until they either hash it out themselves or go back to the Siren, and they may even go to another module, right? Like, forget this. We're going to go see Robad. but then they're still going to deal with this faction. They've made an enemy.
Potentially, what they could do is they could, the Siren could use some help with some pirates, and then we could get some. They could become pirate hunters. They could essentially play Sid Meier's Pirates, the D&D game.
Pirate hunters. All right.
Yep.
That might open up the freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Open up the freedom for the Siren and her ships to do the work that she was asking them to do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's an option. Pirate hunters option says, hey, fine, if you don't want to explore for me, we'll at least take your battle prowess on the water.
Mm-hmm. So that I can then, handle it.
So you can handle it. Okay. So what about the surrounding area? What happens? What else is going on here? So we did say area of interest, right? Area of interest and kind of some, the happenings of Jellicoy.
I like Jellicoy. Because it's like a jellyfish or like a jellyfish and a koi.
Okay. We're gonna make this jellycoy, and we're gonna pronounce jellycoy. What's in exchange for handling it? Usually in Dungeons & Dragons, it's gold, it's items, maybe it's keeping the ship. Players are always looking for things that make them stronger. They would be adopting this as mercenary work, more than likely, not just good Samaritan work, where they are, paid in exchange for their services. And that's something that can be haggled over. He says, hey, I'll give you $500 or 500 gold to handle this. And the players go, well, how about, let us keep the ship instead if we successfully complete this, or, docking rights or whatever they decide, or 1,000 pumpernickel bagels. I don't know. That'll be something we have to handle on the fly. We have an offer on the table, or we'll have an offer on the table when the Siren offers his job, and then that's when the role playing aspect of this game comes into play. Is what's that bargaining look like? Yeah, very flexible. This game, absolutely flexible. We're trying to establish motivations of characters, major plot elements. And when I say characters, I mean NPCs. What's Tiffanys Bagel Shop? What's her motivation? If they help her put out her bagel shop, or they don't help her, put out the fire in the bagel shop, where does that leave her? Does that have any interest in the characters? If the characters go back after the bagel shop's been burned down and try to interact with her, who's that person that they interact with? Where does she have a home? Where's her home at the top of the bagel shop? Is she homeless? Do they care? Do they take it upon themselves to help her rebuild her bagel shop? And that's the campaign we get into for 5 sessions. They're just rebuilding a bagel shop. They decide that they don't want to take on the Sirens Call because pirates are dangerous and the open waters are dangerous. Or they for some reason made characters. They told me they wanted to play a pirate game or a sailing game, and they make characters that are afraid of water.
Just to hate you.
Just to hate me. Right, and they ignore it, and they wander the countryside looking for random adventure. Then we have to find random interesting things to encounter. This is going to be 8 episodes of them camping out.
It's going to be like the Siren's going to be like, we need you to look for this pirate. And then one of them goes, I know exactly where to find them. I think in one of Loros' cornfields, he was there. Let's go.
Let's go to the cornfield. Let's go to Diminimo's. I bet he's hanging out at Diminimo's. It's essentially a joint storytelling game where the players control their actions, and we try to put them in as realistic of a world as possible and give them story hooks to hang on to. Much like dropping into like a Fallout game, where you can do anything you want, and the game tells you one way or the other. I don't know why, but I have rock music now. It decided it wanted rock music. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna rock it out. Nope, we're over. Moving that out. Rock music. You're a fantastic app, but I don't know why you decided to turn yourself on. All right, so area of interest. So let's talk about Tiffany. Tiffany is a bagel. Bagel? Bagel?
Dinos Bar and Grill.
Oh, no.
Are you talking about like actual dinosaurs or like the barbecue place near
Dinos
where
Bar
I
and
live.
Grill. Is there a dinosaur place?
It's like Dino's barbecue sauce. They sell it at grocery stores. Probably just around here.
Here you go, Tech. So Dino's Bar and Grill. That's going to be an exotic meat meat bar and grill. They are going to hunt exclusively animals from San Luis's region.
Oh, Dinos?
Region.
That's Dinos is...
They are only open once a month. Because it's really hard to find.
They need to get their shipment in from the sea, and that's why they're at this place.
That's why they're at this place. And this is like the safe territory where San Luis won't follow and murder them for taking out her dinos.
And people from Ectoon's country come down.
Here we go.
Into this small town.
Last month they had a Hydra, and they didn't kill it. They just cut off its heads. You know, when you cut off a head of a Hydra, it grow until its heart couldn't support the blood flow of the doubling heads. And so for an entire month they were just chopping off heads on a Hydra in the back of Dinos. It's where you go. It's where you go Friday night once a month. Last month
just to kill.
Hydra Night. There you go, Hydra Night. And you know, Dino's gonna be an explorer. So
he's gonna wear a safari hat.
Yeah, safari hat wearing.
So Dino's the one that goes on the adventure.
I think he probably goes on the adventure. He probably loves big game hunting, and it's an option for the players if they don't want to take the Sirens Call to go on a safari hunt. Like we now have an entire campaign adventure that leads them to San Luis's curse-infected dungeon, curse-infected land. We have a potential plot hook should they refuse things. See that? Thanks for that, Dino. Tiffany, the bagel owner, the bagel shop owner. The shop catches fire in the chaos.
Mm-hmm.
If allowed to burn down, she will. Well, she will only be able to rebuild with help.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be help can be in the form of money.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they go adventuring.
Dino's or Tiffanys charity fund.
Right. Maybe they go adventuring. Maybe they just ring a bell. Maybe they start a bagel cart. Right, to get her on her feet. I mean, there are just options. Okay. Oh, nope, we want that to stay tabbed. All right, so we have Dino, we have Tiffany. He should probably be dressed to kill. Yeah, no, Dino will be a sharp-dressed man. Safari, Pat wearing sharp-dressed man. He probably talks more like a... how do I do this? Hello! Welcome to Dino's. Today we have Hydra on the menu. It's fancy. He's very upbeat.
It's
I love your hat. Where'd you get it? Hello there. I'm Dino. Welcome to my bar and grill. Okay. I should record that or I'm going to forget it. Okay. So we have some food. But what are some things that...
Well, we got to talk about the dock, right?
Okay. So the dock.
So there's got to be like a dock master.
I see there's 2 small docks. Okay. So we're dealing with import and export of goods for a small town.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't a major port.
No.
So, you know, this is a small port, has 1 dock master.
Mm-hmm.
He probably just collects dock fees.
Mm-hmm. Older in years, he's...
Okay.
I think he potentially just manage more of what goes in and out because there isn't as much action here. Some people could be want to get their things out. But like, if someone from a guild like slips him some money, he'll like boot things in line and make sure that certain things get put on ships.
How about this?
Before
this is the smugglers. The illicit Hydra import business. This is, see, you're finding it illicit. This is a small town, and I why is the Siren here? Why is the Siren putting together packages? Weird.
Okay, so you're saying this
is a smuggler's den,
right? It survives on smuggling, which is why Dinos exist.
Smuggling and import, like low cost imports. This is probably that in and out, right? This is illicit. This is why Dinos exist. Exactly why Dinos can operate. The Dockmaster is probably getting older in years, right? But he also he knows who to turn away, right? So if one of Sandalus' clerics showing up to try to, after following Dino's operation, Dockmaster turns him away. And there's got to be enough military might to handle, small, incursion forces. So there's probably a militia, I would say, like a rogues guild militia. Rogues Guild / militia. So they're the Thieves Guild. They're like a mafia. They're very small, but they do keep this city running in an illicit fashion. Probably just right enough of the law to not draw too much attention. The city of Cromolo.
Well,
Cromolos.
Yeah, I thought it was Krolom.
Krolom's territory kind of probably has one or two of these. Probably has two of these cities in his country, and it's still all about that freedom. It's not cracked down on particularly hard as long as they're not hurting people. And this is kind of where that dock.
Yeah, and it's not right next to the capital. I mean, it's a decent amount of ways away. It's
I'm gonna say older in years and a cleric.
Okay.
This guy's a cleric. He's maybe not a powerful cleric, but a cleric of long service, right? He's got his 40-year pin. Right. Thank you for your service for the last 40 years. Here's your pin. Just a lapel pin, like he wears it on his shirt. All right, so we got the dock. Other areas of interest. So we have this back and forth of goods and services. What's a tavern look like in a place like this? Dangerous?
Yeah. I mean, there's like I mean, I don't want to be too stereotypical about it, but like,
maybe not.
Maybe the bar owner is like one of the fiercest guys in town.
Sure.
So nobody fights there. It's like the one place where people don't fight.
Okay. All right. So it's like the safer part of town. Has all the taverns. This would be near Dinos, right? So you have Dinos there. You have all these restaurants. This is small town, but it's probably got 4 or 5 taverns.
Right.
It's a tourist location.
Yeah, and they're the ones who protect the farmers because they need some of the small things that the farmers produce, and they like to have them like right there. So if you fuck with the farmers, you're immediately messing with them. So that's why
sure.
Potentially, if the farms start getting burned, these guys will be up in arms.
So it's for the people that are like serving. These imports are coming in here. Some of them are going throughout the rest of the countryside, but a lot of them are probably keep being left alive in this touristy place. The owners, the tavern owners, are probably the bosses. They're keeping this touristy feel alive, keeping the rogues, the militia in line. Money isn't spent on a facade. Okay, so money is spent on. So we're talking money's not spent on decoration. It's spent on essentials.
Correct. Yeah. Yep. I agree.
No frills. No frills, but all service. They have great service. They have, exotic food. All service, great service, exotic food and drinks. Probably expensive. And so now we're building this. So far, we're getting into this life cycle of a town. We can see what makes it strive, right? 4 to 5. We'll call this 4 to 5 city bosses. This is the lifeblood moving in and out of this town. So the farms, just like any town, residences like any town. There's going to be an ineffective. We have an ineffective law enforcement, or ineffective or paid or shill law enforcement. Dirty cops, not necessarily mean, angry cops.
No, but like yeah.
Let's see. All patrons know who is running things. They're treated well, but they know they are present by leave of the boss. Okay, taking that right in. Boom. Can I do this without getting a weird paste? Let's see. So I'm just gonna take your words because that's good. Yeah, and I just copied it in the notepad and then paste it here.
Yeah, because so it doesn't link.
And I would say all patrons, but regulars, all regulars. I mean, because you're still gonna have tourists. It's still gonna be a safe. It still needs to be a safe enough tourist town that people want to visit, that it thrives, and you're still importing and exporting. You're still exporting to the rest of the country, But you know where you go if you want Hydra head.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, pretty much we'll take anything, and then as we develop more and more, if things don't work, we kind of throw them out. That's sort of been our motto of sort of how we're dealing with this.
We do take some of the craziest ideas, and
like
we
pumpernickel bread,
and we morph them into reasonable and interesting things. That's kind of half the fun. Now you posted an archipelago.
So this is where I don't know where things will show up, so I post them and just wait for you to notice it. So I made sure I posted it in the thing. So I hit random map image just one time, and this is what I got. I didn't even put any modifiers in it. Do I doctor up this one and see where it takes us?
Is there a way to put more distance between the landmass?
Not in a way that would be me just randomly generating a new one.
I mean, I like this, but I would like more separation. I would like more islands, because we could just do the archipelago.
Right, but my one also, like, I don't want to cater too much to this one adventure.
No, but I mean, we need to have some landmass out there. I need to know what it looks like when they go, hey, this is what you're exploring. It's that we got to have it. It's got to exist.
Wait, and so this isn't enough islands?
It could or could not be. The only thing I don't like is the landmass on the right is too big. I'm
on the right.
On the left. Sorry, the big one on the left is just big. If I could put that into 3, that would be a perfect size.
Okay. So to me, without that landmass on the left, we don't have some of our other campaigns. Because like then our world becomes, like a from like sort of a rich, diverse world into it's going to be solely about pirates, or not necessarily pirates, but it's all going to be naval base, because there wouldn't be a reason not to be.
And it might be. But see, here's the thing. This doesn't have to have the scale on the bottom right. We can ignore that. We can ignore that scale. These don't have to be 600-mile islands. These are just locations in the ocean that we can use for this one module. The world doesn't have to take place from 1 to 20 out here. There doesn't have to be 1 to 20 locations for them to visit. Level 1 to 20. We use as much or as little of it as we can. But what I don't think I can do is just take this and say this is to the north of our continent, because it's so massive and so large.
See, I was just talking about replacing all that.
No, I'm just saying, give me a chain of islands. Just give me a don't use this as our world. Keep our world. This is just copy and pasted. Give me an archipelago.
Got it.
That I could say, hey, take this map. Which island do you want to go to?
Okay.
I see what you're saying. You were trying to replace our.
Yes.
I mean, I like our map. It plays too heavily into a lot of the stories we've gone to. Yeah, I'm just looking for.
Okay.
So Fisherman Jason Waterfalls, and I said it out loud for the first time, and now I get the joke. And I'm gonna say, don't go. Stay close to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to. That's good. Jason Waterfalls. How do we? I'm going to take this because I told you we could take this into make these useful ideas. Jason Waterfalls.
So I was thinking about the map, and so everything was playing in the background, and so I was slowly catching up. So like that groan you just heard was my brain catching up to Casey getting the joke, so that I could look for the joke and then groan.
Oh man. I mean, shitty songs and movies. So no, I mean, literally, I'm gonna take I take shitty ideas and songs and make them into magic.
Be too obvious.
No, Jason Waterfalls. He's a fisherman that let's say he was young as a fisherman that in his youth explored the sea.
And so I guess and so I'm sort of just focusing on the police thing.
Okay. You want the ineffective or shill law enforcement discussion?
No, well, yeah, because I was sort of just thinking, to me, it wouldn't necessarily make sense to have, or to me, I think it would make sense where like this is owned sort of by like one group, and so like they are they are the underbelly of the city, but they also are except with that, I'm trying to think.
How about? I mean, I like the ineffective or shill. Like they are the front. They still do their job. There's no conflict necessarily between our underbelly and our overbelly. They avoid certain streets. They avoid certain transactions.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. I guess that would make sense, and because I'm just like trying to like.
Yeah, the police do jobs, but nothing important. But nothing important. Right. How about? So I got one. We have an officer. He did work on the law. I got it right. Enforcement. He did work on the side of the law, but after a while he got tired. He got tired of the ineffective or shill enforcement, and instead went on into politics. So our town mayor
is Jason Waterfalls.
No, he's a fisherman.
Oh, okay.
He's a fisherman. But we have the mayor, a previous law enforcement officer, whatever we're calling them. He would have been town guard captain. Previous guard captain. Went off and studied politics. And came back and created this harmony. And created the existing harmony. So what's probably happening at first is they were ineffective because they didn't have the manpower or the knowledge to deal with the underbelly. The underbelly's just winning. Mayor goes off, or guard captain goes off, comes back, takes leadership in the town, and comes to agreements, right? Makes it work for both the peace of the people and the existence of the import-export business.
Mm-hmm.
And we need a name for him. Something grounded.
Tyler Longbottom.
Tyler?
Wait.
I like Tyler.
You don't like Longbottom?
I mean, he sounds like a halfling. Is he a very furry-footed man?
I mean, he could potentially be.
Long
I mean,
bottom?
I didn't.
Fur
Yeah.
bottom? Fur bottom?
So we have a halfling mayor who's okay. Who does that play into the fact that he's not respected because he's so short and small?
No, I think he's fine. I think he's plenty respected.
Okay.
I think he's absolutely plenty respected. I think that's what we talk about, the existing harmony, right? You make deals. You make
so he's not trying to crack down on them. He's just trying to play both sides of the coin to the point to create a balanced society.
Sure.
Okay.
Tech 4 really wants a cult that's all about exercising and managing after-school programs, and we call them the Village People. Oh man, I can't keep diving into that. That is something. That is something. Exercising and after-school programs. Young man, da 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 da. I said, young man. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I think we're at a good point. We have a living, breathing town now. We have something that gives him at least 4 or 5 sessions of interaction and just introduction to the campaign. We have some options for missions, and again, not even spoilers because these will morph. These are generally how you get after getting to the end state and getting to the next step in the introduction to the campaign. And any good introduction takes characters from level 1 to level 3, because that's where you really start to come into your power as a Dungeons and Dragons character. As cliche as that might be, we'll see if it happens. We'll see if that's the way it works. Next week, what is the thing we should be tackling? What do you?
I don't know. This is where things get extremely specific, because I don't know how much more specific we should get before we dive into or create more of the overworld.
Right.
If we keep on getting more and more specific from here, we'll be missing out on a lot of details. Do we start then to tackle go back out and do the seasons and to try to sort of tackle all of that, just to make sure that won't
Do we need to dive into seasons, or are we just going to say 4 seasons of summer, winter,
well
spring?
No, I'm just saying just go over all of that, because tonight we figured out we might need an addition to the map, right?
Right.
And so I don't know if we should sort of try, or just I guess we could do that as well. But I don't know if we continue. Right. Mm-hmm.
I think this episode represents a lot of what future episodes might look like, hashing out sections of the world. And what we agreed upon at least was that Sirens Call is kind of where they want to start, so we should hash out enough stuff. We should hash out enough stuff so the game can start eventually.
Right. So we're just going to go from then to town to town to town to town.
It just depends on what we think is needed, what's necessary. We need to get a priority list of what's important to the world and campaign.
Next week we're going to work on a priority.
We're going to work on how about we do the archipelago? Can we talk
about? Okay, we could do that. Yeah.
Okay.
I would like to at least also throw in some just brief overview of general what do these populations generally look like? Are there going to be species of player characters that are more common in certain areas, and then things like that could potentially reveal story plot lines that we wouldn't have until we had for this one, we sort of have the story of going down to Santalus's territory and getting the Hydra, whereas that doesn't necessarily make sense if where Ectune is, Santalus is, because then Santalus would come over and just smash on some.
So then let's do that next time. Let's have the archipelago as a handy. in case we don't spend all our time. But then let's outline, what are the races and species? What can we find in different territories? I like it. We might have to start sectioning up some of this. But, knowing where elves are is handy. Knowing where dwarves hang out is handy. A lot of this is going to be humans. Kind of orcs and all the major players. Orcs, and like goblins, for example, can be anywhere. We don't need a goblin section of the world.
No.
But, knowing where the major civilizations are, that's fine. Let's do that. And then Archipelago on the side, because I do want to flesh that out eventually. We are kind of taking a step in the direction of Sirens Call.
Yep, definitely.
We have suggestions for how do I feel about myself tomorrow. Let's just say that you can dance if you want to, and the roof is on effing fire, boys. Anything to say before I close this out?
I want both of you back next weekend with double the amount of songs. That's just your homework.
Their homework. And your homework is to watch 50 episodes of One Piece between now and next week.
All I know is he has stretchy arms, and for some reason they don't just dunk him in the water.
If you can find that connection between Dungeons and Dragons that I saw, it'd be really cool. Ladies and gentlemen, every Wednesday we do this show. It's called Delvin N Deep. It's also on YouTube. It's 6 p.m. Pacific to about this time, about hour and a half every time. I do stream every day at 6 p.m. except for Tuesdays. Tech4 says if you have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe to one streamer a month for free. He's absolutely not wrong. There you go, Andrew, my new buddy. I bet you have I bet you have Amazon Prime. You can link your Twitch account to your Prime account and subscribe to my channel. I stream all the time. Hit that follow button up there to get notifications on when I stream. I'll see you next week. I'll see all of you immediately. Actually, I have a meeting. And then I'll be hanging out in my own Discord. Link is below. Thanks for hanging out. Hey, Flutes, play us out.